is the king of Norway.
You made me?
We took a flight to Alesund from Gatwick on Norwegian at £105, very cheap.
Hi, we're on our way to Norway. We just took off and it's going to be an hour and 55-minute flight going to Alesund. Just seen a drone.
My second visit, and I must admit that my first visit back in 2008 had a profound effect upon me. I was astounded by the beauty of the scenery and certainly fascinated by the culture, and looking forward to another opportunity to enjoy it, and blessed to have the opportunity to spend time with Gunnar again.
We're in Norway.
Gunnar met us, and the adventure began with a look around this very picturesque town. Alesund Arbor, but Gunnar is explaining to Rachel here that last time I came we went with Torbjorn on his boat, and when I went inside to get my jacket I got really seasick. And I want to say how bad that seasickness was. It was so bad that 2 years later, when Gunnar is talking about it, I'm getting sick just thinking about it. On the night of the 23rd of January 1904, this town was the scene of the horrific Alesund fire, which destroyed 800 houses, left 10,000 people homeless. The town was rebuilt in stone, brick and mortar in the Art Nouveau style. Colourful buildings and a beautiful harbour. Very impressive town. It ascends the mountain here, but on this occasion the road was obscured by the mist, which was rising from the gigantic 1,000-foot waterfall that cascades from the mountain down to the valley. As the mist subsided, the sun shone through, making it very pleasant. Our first close-up experience of Norway's famous waterfalls, powerful and majestic, but creating the mist which came and went all the time we were there. When I mentioned to Gunnar that I was disappointed we didn't have the view of the winding road, his response was that in actual fact the mist that kept enveloping us was just another facet of the beauty of the place, and equally beautiful. You can drink it, Rachel. Rachel tried the water. Have a drink, it's okay. Yeah. What does it taste like?
It tastes like water.
Ah.
It's good though.
So here we are for the album. Gunnar, as usual, a wealth of information. Rachel had a coat of many colours, the latest fashion craze. Press a button in the pocket and it changes colour. The mountain scenery in Norway is simply awesome, and as we travelled to get the next ferry, we were able to enjoy the beauty of nature. It's June, but there's still much snow. In actual fact, the snow melting is what is feeding the streams and waterfalls, making it a great time to visit. We then took the ferry across the fjord to Eidsdal. Dal means valley, so it's a town in the valley. The word being the origin of our English word dale. We have come down from Trollstigen to the ferry at Eidsdal, and afterwards we'll head towards Geiranger Fjord. We are crossing the fjord. In other words, this is the sea, though it's about 50 miles inland. Our destination was the legendary Geiranger Fjord, reputed to be the most beautiful. Last time I was here, I had great views. This time, it was a foggy day. We had a look around Geiranger, and especially the Hotel Union, one of Norway's finest. It's well known for its vintage car exhibition. A cup of coffee was just the thing, and relax with the nice view.
Much better shot there.
The waterfalls and scenery outside were stunning. Both Rachel and I getting scenery shock after New York and Hong Kong. The way the clouds and light interact makes for great pictures. Ibsen describes it thus: "In summer dusk the valley lies, with far-flung shadow veil. A cloud sea laps the precipice before the evening gale." Fortunately, the gale didn't come. But as for the rest of the poem, we actually saw it.
This is the bridge. Oh, it's not so foggy.
As we were taking some shots in one place, a family of sheep came up to have a chat.
This one is not the lamb, those are the lambs. And they sound like lambs. This one sounds like she's burping.
Final stop was at a village that still had a village shop where the shopkeeper gets the items you want as you ask him for them and you pay him. Memories of times gone by, for sure. To say we only arrived that morning, we had an amazing day, finally arriving in Volda and Gunnar's beautiful home. Rachel had a chat with Auntie Betty. The last time she saw her, she was only a little girl. Next day, Gunnar had planned a trip on HMS Belima. After all, he is King Gunnar. Borghild, her husband Christian, and daughter Hannah came along, so we were able to have a great time enjoying the scenery. Hannah was great, and it was nice to be able to spend the time with them. Borghild was just a little girl when she left Hong Kong. As usual, Gunnar prepared coffee and snacks, and we had a great time. Borghild and Rachel catching up on 25 years of happenings. Rachel said that she's actually her oldest friend, because all the friends she knew before her, she's no longer in contact with them. I love the water, rivers, lakes, the sea, so I really enjoyed it. This is a great way to see the beauty of Norway. A car is okay, but too fast. The boat, on the other hand, giving not only a different perspective, but also a different pace. It was a great trip. The sun broke through as we arrived back. It had been a great day, especially to get time with old friends. I love the scenery. I love to shoot my video. I love boats. So this was a great treat. The town of Volda is certainly picturesque. Next day, Gunnar had planned a full-day excursion. Norway has an amazing diversity of weather, scenery, and atmosphere. It has to be unique. We took the ferry at Sabo to Leknes, about a 15-minute ride, through the mountains on each side of the fjord. Beautiful bracing wind and totally enjoyable. Then we visited another hotel union, which has been the host to kings and celebrities in the past. The hotel was beautiful. And Gunnar again was a wealth of information. This hotel is called the Hotel Union, which at that time celebrated the union of Sweden and Norway, and was host to many famous stars, like there is the Henrik Ibsen room, and also the Coco Chanel room, which is very nice smelling. And we are sitting here and enjoying a nice cup of coffee and with good company. Well, at least they have good company.
The Hotel Union was built in 1891 to accommodate the aristocracy and classes.
It was closed for years, and the Lutheran Church bought it. They used it for having youth camps, and
Wow.
and they kept it for about 10 years, 10, 15 years. They were spending a lot of time and money.
Even had an open fire and classic furniture. We inquired about room prices, and actually they were quite reasonable. I said we'll have to try and stay there one time.
Hello, I'd like to get number 54. Village,
And it's rolling now. So what did you think of the hotel? Good?
I thought it was fabulous.
There's a room now called Rachel Sachet Waller Room next to Edvard Gris. So they're getting the gold leaf ready for Rachel's room. When she's a famous composer, she can say, I stayed there. Well, I had a cup of coffee anyway. We then headed on and passed the cowgirls' chalets, where the girls stayed when taking care of the cows. So
probably the name of the farm that owns it.
is Foley, and the cell is the where they stay.
Yeah.
Hellesylt was the next stop. I think the waterfall here has to be one of the best. That's the ferry we came on, eh? So, oh, this is Geiranger. When I look at this place and think of the amount of water coming down there, it's just amazing, powerful. Wonder if they have salmon jumping up there. Thermal underwear was on sale, so we got a bargain in the factory shop there. Then had a great picnic right next to the waterfall. Gunnar's picnics are very nice, and it really is a Norwegian style picnic and thoroughly enjoyable. The surroundings certainly made it memorable. That look at the watch indicates the nature of Norwegian travel. One always needs to be aware of the ferry times. The Grand Hotel there appears to have hosted Conan Doyle at some point in time. As we left, we were able to get a glimpse of Geiranger Fjord that was misted over the day we arrived. We are now heading towards the picturesque town of Stryn, a popular tourist and skiing resort. So we took a few minutes to see the river scenery. From there we headed to the famous Glacier at Briksdal. But on the way encountered an amazing prism-type phenomenon which occurs on one of the mountains there, making the mountain reflect rainbow colors. Amazing. Briksdal Glacier is one of the great attractions of Norway. A glacier is a body of packed snow and ice that very slowly moves downhill with gravity, generally taking with it rocks and soil, and eventually forming a glacial valley. The typical blue-green colour is apparently due to rock flour, ground up rock. Glacial rivers also have a similar hue. The waterfall is my favourite anywhere. Majestic, powerful, nature shouting its character for everyone to take notice. It really is an experience just to walk up that valley next to the river and the waterfall and just experience it. When Rachel walked across the bridge, she got soaked by the spray. For the weary, there's a troll car.
Okay, we are at a glacier and there's a waterfall underneath it. So we've come to look at it because you get up really close and it's amazing. There's a lot of spray and it's pretty incredible.
Water is heavier than air, so it falls.
It's the first time I've been warm since I left New York over a week ago, so I'm very happy.
From there we went through some really beautiful Norwegian scenery. Eventually arriving in Volda to take the short ferry ride over to Volda. The sky was blue, the sun shining, and we'd had a great day and a great holiday. Gunnar is a great host, and in 3 short days we packed in an unbelievable number of things. So as the sun sets at 10:45 at night, all I can say from Rachel and I is thank you, Gunnar, and thank you, God. You were both amazing.